At our college graduation, my fiance suddenly proposed to Lily Stewart, my best friend, in front of everyone. I became a joke in front of everyone. Right after Lily accepted my fiance's proposal, Lloyd Becker, heir to the biggest mafia family on the West Coast, publicly said he loved me. Lloyd was known in the mafia world for being serious and never getting involved with women. So when he showed an interest in an orphan like me, it made the news. We got married. And for 5 years, he was so sweet and treated me like a princess. But one day, I accidentally overheard him talking to his friend. Lily is already set to become the future lady of the Gashira family. Are you really going to keep the act up with Nellie? If I can't have Lily, it doesn't matter who I marry. As long as I'm with Nellie, Lily can live peacefully. He even gave Lily the symbol of the Becker family's lady. He helped Lily build her career, while letting me fade into the background. After 5 years of marriage, I finally understood. On our 5th anniversary, I pretended to die in a shooting, so he could be with the woman he truly loved. But instead of being happy, Lloyd completely broke down. After 5 years of marriage, I found out my husband was in love with my best friend, the same one who stole my fiancé. Betrayed by both of them, I decided to fake my death and disappear. There were 2 days left after I sent the email. Lloyd Becker walked into the study. Just as I closed the email about my fake death plan, he gently hugged me from behind and casually looked at my screen. Sending work emails? Yeah, just checking some work plans. I tried to sound natural and smiled at him. He held my hand, the one on the mouse, and kissed it softly. Everything with the family is finally settled. Let's go on a vacation. He looked at me with so much love. Lloyd was the heir of a mafia family, but he always treated me with care. In a mafia family full of unruly and depraved behavior, Lloyd was not like the others. Even before we got married, he remained a gentleman and never got involved with women. People in his family were jealous of our marriage. I used to think he was the one, but I just realized that I was never his true love. This marriage was all about protecting Lily Stewart. I was just a side character in his love story. Let's go on vacation after we go to Lily's celebration party. Lloyd's face changed slightly. He slowly let go of my hand. Why do you suddenly want to go to that party? Lily invited me. She may have gotten the southern weapons smuggling route, but she's still my friend. I should go and congratulate her, I said with a smile. He tensed up. Even more. Dinner's ready. Come out when you're done. Lloyd left in a bit of a hurry. I opened the hidden camera footage saved on my computer and felt a rush of emotions. While I was competing with Lily for the southern route, Lloyd kept telling me to give up because he was worried about me. He said the Becker family did not need that route and did not want me to work too hard. But when I said I still wanted to do it, he took care of me and helped me with the work. On the day of the operation, Lily somehow knew about our plans and attacked our men from behind. After she took control of the southern route, she sent our men home. The Becker family thanked her. All my hard work was ruined, and I became a joke in the family. That night, Lloyd held a candlelight dinner to comfort me after I failed. How did Lily know our time en route? I asked angrily. Only a few important family members, and I knew the details. Lloyd stiffened for a moment, but quickly relaxed. Pretending like he had no idea, he said, maybe it was just a coincidence. You've been best friends for a long time. It makes sense she could guess what you were thinking. Right then, I realized the truth. I did not say anything more. The next day, I checked the hidden camera in the study and saw that a person had taken all the files from my computer. It was Lloyd. My husband and my best friend had betrayed me together. Still in shock, I clicked on a hidden folder on Lloyd's computer and tried Lily's birthday as the password. It worked. The photo showed a place I knew well. It was the wedding venue Lloyd had spent a fortune on for me. But the bride and groom in the photos were him and Lily. At that moment, I was heartbroken and just gave up. Nellie, are you really going to Lily's party? On the way there, Lloyd kept asking me nervously, why are you asking that? Do you think I'm that petty? I laughed. He had been acting strange since last night. You're the sweetest. How could you ever be petty? Let's just give the gift and leave before our trip tomorrow. Let's enjoy a nice night at the estate. Lloyd gently caressed my head and held me close to comfort me. I knew he did not want me to go. He was afraid I would ruin Lily's party. But I was leaving tonight. Before I left, I wanted to say goodbye to the past. The party was to celebrate Lily's success. When I walked in, the noise stopped. Everyone fell silent. Lily froze when she saw me, but she quickly smiled and hugged me warmly. Nellie, my dear friend, I was worried you were mad and wouldn't come. There's nothing to be mad about in fair competition. Congrats, Lily. I said fair competition with an implication. Lily let go of me awkwardly and smiled nervously. You actually dared to come here? Lily said softly, but her tone was provoking. A thief threw a party. How couldn't I come? Lily's face changed. She looked at me suspiciously. Can't you just admit you lost? Do you really think your plan was that perfect? She held my arm tighter. Lily did not think I would reveal the truth.
Since Lloyd was involved too.
She smiled slyly and said, even if you know the truth, I'm still the one who won. I sneered and pulled my hand away without saying anything.
Clink.
I heard the clink of a bracelet and looked at her wrist. My face instantly changed. It was the heart of ruby that was worth millions. Everyone in the mafia knew. It symbolized who the Becker family's lady was. Lloyd promised to give it to me after I had a child, but Lily was the one wearing it openly. Lily showed me her wrist and said proudly, Lloyd gave me this for the celebration. Isn't it beautiful? Lloyd did not care about how I felt.
Crushed.
My last hope. I gave her a cold look and was about to speak, when she suddenly swung her hand in front of my face.
No.
I quickly raised my hand to stop her. Lily fell and the heart of Ruby shattered into pieces. Nellie, I can give you the heart of Ruby if you want.
Why did you try to snatch it?
Lily cried in front of everyone. That's the heart of Ruby. Lloyd gave it to Lily. The Becker family still doesn't accept Nellie. She's just an orphan with no background. Does she really think marrying Lloyd makes her the lady of the Becker family?
People gossiped about me.
Lloyd rushed over. But the first thing he did was help Lily up. It's my fault for losing my balance. The heart of Ruby is broken. Lily cried in his arms. Lloyd looked a little tense when he saw the broken heart of Ruby on the floor, but he still comforted Lily. It's okay. It's not your fault. He looked at me and said accusingly, I gave Lily the bracelet. You shouldn't be mad at her. I looked at him coldly. Lloyd noticed something was off and let go of Lily. Then he said we should leave. Let's go now. The chef has made a big dinner for us at the estate. Tomorrow we'll leave for our vacation. He ignored Lily, who was trying to stop him. We left the party holding hands. As we walked away, I softly asked, why did you give her the heart of Ruby? Lloyd looked a little guilty. Lily's position in the Gashira family isn't stable. She just had a big victory and wanted the heart of Ruby to show off. I only lent it to her. I didn't give it to her. He knew Lily's position was unstable, but did not care about how awkward it made things for me and the Becker family. I smiled and responded without any emotion. The estate is all decorated. Let's have a romantic night together. We're flying to France for vacation first thing tomorrow. Lloyd wrapped his arms around me and rubbed his nose playfully against my cheek. I did not say anything. I just looked out the window in silence. The car slowly drove into the estate. Every tree was wrapped in colorful lights. When they were all turned on, it looked like something out of a dream. Inside the estate, a long table was filled with food and candles. The whole thing felt warm and romantic. Just as we sat down, Lloyd's phone rang. Oh, hell no. He was about to ignore it, but when he saw who it was, he changed his mind and answered it.
What?
I'm on my way. Lloyd suddenly got up to leave, but when he saw me, he stopped and looked unsure of what to do. If you need to go, go. I'll stay here and wait for you. He paused, then said, I won't be long. I did not know who had called, but the only person who could make him act like that was Lily. Lloyd always set up the best date nights. This time I enjoyed everything alone. Then I opened a message from Lily. It was a photo of Lloyd in the kitchen. Sorry, my stomach hurts. I wanted some soup from Lloyd. I'll return him to you tomorrow. We had been married for 5 years, and he had never cooked once. I did not even know he knew how to do it. Then I heard some noise coming from outside the estate. I called Lloyd, but Lily answered his phone. Lloyd's in the shower. Want me to pass along a message?
Put him on.
He's busy tonight. He's spending time with me. Please don't call again to ruin our evening. Lily hung up on me. I stayed still at the dining table, while the staff rushed into the room in a panic. Madam, the Hill family's men have broken in. We need to get you out right now. I said calmly. No need. You should all leave. I stood by the table and would not leave. The staff had no choice but to run for their lives without me. The peaceful, romantic atmosphere was shattered by the sound of gunfire. I stood alone in the middle of the estate and made one final call to Lloyd. His phone was switched off. Memories from our 5 years of marriage flashed through my mind. Convinced his family elders just so he could marry an orphan like me. He kicked out the housekeeper who mistreated me. And he often planned sweet surprises and romantic gestures. All those fake, happy moments from before made me feel how pathetic I really was. I uploaded the video showing Lloyd sneaking into the study to steal the plan, along with the recordings of his phone calls with Lily to the mafia's secret network. The Hill family's men were right in front of me. One of them aimed the gun at my chest and pulled the trigger. Meanwhile, Lloyd wiped the soup off himself and was about to leave. Lily stepped in his way.
Lloyd.
It's really late. Just go home tomorrow. Lloyd pushed her hands away.
No.
We're catching a flight in the morning. I have to go back tonight. A car screeched to a stop in front of them. Lloyd's assistant rushed out. Boss, the Hill family ambushed the estate. Mrs. Becker's dead. Lloyd didn't remember the drive back. He only remembered the smell. The estate, our sanctuary, the place where we were supposed to spend our last night before France, was an inferno. The Hill family had been ruthless, but the fire was doing the work of erasing history. Nellie, Lloyd screamed, his voice tearing through his throat. He tried to run past the police barricade, but his assistant, Marcus, tackled him. Boss, you can't. The roof is collapsing. She's in there. Let me go. Lloyd fought like a wild animal, his eyes reflecting the orange glow of the flames devouring the master bedroom. But then, the explosion happened. The entire west wing, where the dining room was, crumbled into dust. Lloyd fell to his knees, the vibration of the blast traveling up his shins, shattering his world. It took 6 hours to put the fire out. It took another 2 to find the body. It was unrecognizable, buried under debris near the dining table. The only identifying feature was the platinum wedding band on the charred finger, inscribed with "Always, Lloyd." Lloyd Becker, the heir to the West Coast Mafia, the man who never showed emotion, vomited right there on the ash-covered floor. While Lloyd was cradling the hand of the corpse, a different fire was spreading through the underworld. My email had gone through. Every Don, every capo, and every rival family received the files. The video of Lloyd stealing his own family's plans. The audio of him telling Lily that I was just a shield. The proof that the perfect Becker heir was a traitor who sacrificed his wife for his mistress. By the time Lloyd walked out of the ruins, looking like a ghost, the Becker family elders were waiting. His father didn't hug him. He slapped him across the face. "You fool," his father spat. "You traded a loyal wife for a snake, and now the whole world knows you're a leak. You're stripped of your rank. Get out of my sight." Lloyd didn't care. He just stared at the body bag being loaded into the ambulance. Lily arrived then, rushing out of her car, tears streaming down her face. Perfectly practiced tears.
Lloyd.
Oh my God, poor Nellie. She reached for him. For the first time in 5 years, Lloyd flinched at her touch. He looked at her, really looked at her, and saw the heart of ruby on her wrist. The bracelet I had died over. The bracelet he stole from me to give to her. "Don't touch me," he whispered, his voice dead. I watched his reaction from the scope of a sniper rifle, positioned on the ridge of the chaotic hill, overlooking the estate. I wasn't dead. The body they found belonged to a Jane Doe from the morgue, a favor called in from an old contact I'd made during my days at the orphanage, a contact Lloyd never knew about because he never asked about my past. I had switched the rings moments before the Hill family breached the perimeter. I had slipped into the panic room's ventilation shaft just as the first Molotov cocktail shattered the window. I watched Lloyd fall to his knees. I watched his father strike him. And I watched Lily try to manipulate him even while the smoke of my death was still in the air. My heart didn't ache. It felt cold, hard, and heavy, like a stone. "Are you ready to go, miss?" a voice asked behind me. I lowered the rifle. Standing there was Silas, the outcast son of the Hill family. The one person who hated the Beckers and the Stewarts as much as I did. I had sent him the intel on the estate's security flaws 2 days ago. I traded my home for my freedom. "Yes," I said, turning my back on the ruin of my marriage. "Nellie Becker is dead. She was a weak, love-struck fool." "Who are you now?" Silas asked, opening the car door. I looked at my reflection in the window. My eyes were dry. "I'm the one who settles the score." 3 years later. The mafia world is cruel, but it has a short memory for tragedy. It remembers power. In 3 years, Lloyd Becker had become a shell. He was no longer the golden heir. He was the mad dog of the West Coast. Reckless. Suicidal. He took the most dangerous jobs, wiped out rival gangs single-handedly, and drank himself into a stupor every night. He had married Lily Stewart 6 months after my funeral, not out of love, but because her family, the Gashira, pressured the weakened Beckers into an alliance. Their marriage was a living hell. I read the reports while sipping espresso in a penthouse in Paris. I was no longer Nellie. I was Elena Vane, a private equity investor who specialized in high-risk acquisitions. With Silas's muscle and my brain, we had built a shadow empire. We owned the shipping routes Lloyd used to control. We owned the banks Lily used to launder her money. "They're hosting the Mid-Autumn Gala tonight," Silas said, placing an invitation on my desk. "Lloyd and Lily will be there. It's Lily's attempt to re-enter high society. She's launching a jewelry line." I smirked. "A jewelry line? Let me guess, the centerpiece is the heart of ruby. You know her well." "I know she's unoriginal." I stood up, smoothing the silk of my black dress. It was time. "Prepare the jet. We're going back to California." The gala was held at the new Becker Hotel. It was opulent, dripping in gold, tacky, just like Lily's taste. When I walked in, the room didn't go silent like it did at Lily's party 3 years ago. Instead, a murmur of curiosity rippled through the crowd. I had changed. My hair was cut into a sharp, asymmetrical bob. My makeup was bold. My posture was regal. I wasn't the orphan girl trying to please everyone anymore. I was a predator. I saw them immediately. Lloyd looked older. His face was gaunt, his eyes hollowed out by insomnia and whiskey. He wasn't even looking at the people shaking his hand. He was staring at the floor. Lily, on the other hand, was beaming. She clung to his arm, wearing a white gown that looked like a wedding dress. And there it was, the heart of ruby on her wrist. I signaled the waiter for a glass of champagne and walked straight toward them. "Mr. and Mrs. Becker," I said, my voice pitched slightly lower than Nellie's used to be. "A pleasure." Lloyd's head snapped up. His eyes locked onto mine. For a second, he stopped breathing. The glass in his hand trembled. "Nellie," he whispered, the sound barely audible. Lily froze. She looked at me, her eyes widening in horror, then quickly narrowing as she assessed my face. I had had minor surgery, a slight change to the nose, a lift to the eyes, but the resemblance was enough to haunt them. "Excuse me?" I laughed lightly. "I'm Elena Vane. We haven't met, but I own the debt on this hotel." Lloyd dropped his glass. It shattered, red wine staining the white carpet like blood. "Elena," Lloyd breathed, stepping over the glass, ignoring Lily's claw-like grip on his arm. You look just like your late wife?" I finished for him, my smile not reaching my eyes. "I've heard the stories. A tragic accident. Fire, wasn't it?" "It wasn't an accident," Lloyd said, his voice intense, desperate. "It was a raid. I failed her." "Lloyd, stop it," Lily hissed, pulling him back. "You're embarrassing us. She's obviously not Nellie. Nellie is dead. We saw the body." She turned to me, her smile fake and brittle. "Miss Vane, forgive my husband. He sees ghosts everywhere. Welcome to the gala." "Thank you, Mrs. Becker," I said, stepping closer to Lily. I reached out and gently touched the bracelet on her wrist. Lily flinched. "Beautiful piece. Though, I heard the heart of ruby is cursed. They say it brings ruin to anyone who didn't earn it." Lily yanked her hand away. "It brings luck to those who are loved." "Is that so?" I looked at Lloyd. "You look very lucky, Mr. Becker." The sarcasm hit him like a physical blow. He stared at me with such intensity, searching for a trace of the woman he betrayed. "I need to talk to you," Lloyd said. "Lloyd," Lily shrieked. "I'll be at the bar," I said coolly, walking away. I could feel his eyes burning into my back. Over the next month, I systematically dismantled their lives. Using my alias, I bought the manufacturing plant Lily used for her business and tripled the rent. I leaked information about the Gashira family's smuggling routes to the FBI. Lily's empire began to crumble. She was hemorrhaging money. At home, the dynamic had shifted. I had bugged their penthouse. Old habits die hard. "You're obsessed with her," Lily screamed on the recording I listened to. "Elena Vane is just a businesswoman. Why are you following her?" "She eats strawberries with balsamic vinegar, Lily." Lloyd's voice was slurred. "Nellie did that. Only Nellie did that. Nellie is dead. I am your wife. You're a leech." Lloyd roared. "I only married you because of the guilt. Because Nellie died thinking I loved you. But the moment she was gone, I realized I didn't love you. I loved the thrill of the affair. I loved feeling needed. But Nellie was my peace. And I killed her." "You didn't kill her. The Hills did." "I killed her." Lloyd sounded like he was crying. "I set her up. I let her go to that party. I broke her heart before the bullet ever hit her. Every time I look at you, I see her blood." I paused the recording. A single tear rolled down my cheek. I wiped it away angrily. It was too late for regrets. I invited Lloyd to a private dinner at my estate, the one I had bought overlooking the cliffs. He arrived sober. He had shaved, put on a suit that fit. He looked like the Lloyd I had married 5 years ago. "Elena," he said, standing in the doorway. "Lloyd." I poured 2 glasses of wine. "Please sit." We ate in silence for a while. Finally, he put his fork down. "Stop pretending," he said softly. "I know it's you." I took a sip of wine. "And if I am, what will you do? Kill me again?" Lloyd squeezed his eyes shut. "I deserve that. I deserve everything you've done to my business. Everything you've done to Lily." He opened his eyes, and they were red. "Why didn't you come back sooner? Why did you let me suffer?" "Let you suffer?" I slammed my glass down. The stem snapped. "You spent 5 years lying to me. You plotted with my best friend to make me a fool. You stole my work, my dignity, and you were planning to leave me the very next day. You didn't suffer, Lloyd. You just didn't get the happy ending you thought you were entitled to. I loved you, he whispered. I was just too stupid to realize it until I saw the fire. You don't love people, Lloyd. You love owning them. Suddenly, the front door crashed open. Lily stood there, a gun in her hand. She looked deranged. Her hair was messy, her makeup smeared. She had followed him. I knew it, she screamed. I knew you were alive, you bitch. Lloyd jumped up, moving in front of me. Lily put the gun down. Move, Lloyd. She ruined everything. My business, my reputation, my marriage. She's supposed to be dead. Lily aimed the gun at my head. This time, I'll make sure. You didn't win, Lily, I said calmly, not moving from my chair. You never won. You just picked up the scraps I threw away. Shut up. She cocked the hammer. No. Lloyd lunged at her. The gun went off. The shot echoed through the room. Lloyd fell back, clutching his chest. Blood blossomed on his white shirt, stark and bright. Lily dropped the gun, her hand shaking. Lloyd? No, I was aiming for her. Lloyd. She fell to her knees, trying to stop the bleeding. I stood up and walked over to them. I looked down at the man who had been my husband and the woman who had been my sister. Lloyd was gasping for air. He looked up at me. Nellie, he choked out. Run, She'll. She won't do anything, I said. Sirens wailed in the distance. I had called the police the moment Lily's car triggered the perimeter sensors. Lloyd, look at me, Lily sobbed, pressing on his chest. I love you, look at me. But Lloyd wasn't looking at her.
He was looking at me.
He reached out a bloody hand toward my ankle. I'm sorry, he wheezed.
For the ruby.
For everything.
I didn't take his hand.
I stepped back. Apology accepted, I said coldly. But I'm not Nellie Becker. Nellie died in that fire. I'm Elena. And Elena doesn't care. The police burst into the room. They tackled a screaming Lily. They dragged her away, kicking and cursing, the heart of Ruby finally slipping off her wrist and clattering onto the floor, stained with Lloyd's blood. Paramedics rushed to Lloyd. They loaded him onto a stretcher. As they wheeled him past me, his eyes started to glaze over. He was looking at me, begging for 1 ounce of warmth, one sign that I still loved him. I gave him nothing but a blank stare. Lloyd survived, but he wished he hadn't. The bullet had severed a nerve near his spine. He would never walk again. But that wasn't his punishment. His punishment was the solitude. Lily was sentenced to 20 years for attempted murder and fraud. My files regarding her weapon smuggling ensured she wouldn't see daylight for a long time. The Becker family collapsed under the weight of the scandal and the financial ruin I had orchestrated. Lloyd lived in a small facility now. Every day, he sat by the window, holding a cheap, plastic copy of the wedding photo he and I had taken years ago. He waited for a visitor who would never come. As for me, I sat at a cafe in Paris, watching the sunrise over the Seine. Silas sat across from me, reading the newspaper. It's done, he said, folding the paper. The Becker estate was sold today. Bulldozed. Good, I said, taking a bite of a croissant. What now? I looked at the river. The water was moving, always moving, never looking back. Now. I smiled, and for the first time in years, it reached my eyes. Now we go on vacation. A real one. I touched the bare skin of my wrist. No ruby. No diamonds. No chains.
Just me.
I was finally free.